We will now reconvene into open session. The time is now 7:19. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Well, welcome back, everyone. I hope everyone had a great summer, and I'm looking forward to a wonderful school year this year. Okay, so the meetings of the board are open to the public, but are not meetings of the public. The Lewisville ISD Board of Trustees meets monthly to receive reports from staff and take action on recommendations from the superintendent. The board receives the agenda and all the supporting documentation 10 days in advance of these regular meetings, which allows us to ask and receive questions of many of our questions. In addition, the board also meets in regular scheduled workshops and work sessions where staff discussions and presentations are given for many of the agenda items. This protocol means lengthy discussion for a litany of questions on every agenda item often is not necessary. And as a board, we should have appropriate knowledge and preparation for responses regarding the content of our meeting tonight. Would someone like to make a motion on personnel recommendations presented by administration?
I move to approve all personnel recommendations as approved by administration.
That's a motion by Ms. Hassett. Do we have a second? Second by Ms. Prosnick. All in favor? That's 7-0. Motion carries. Okay, recognitions tonight. Ms. Amanda Brim.
The National School Public Relations Association named Lewisville ISD the recipient of an Award of Excellence and 2 Merit Awards in the 2018 NSPRA National School Communications Award Competition. Out of more than 1,000 entries submitted, the district received one of only 7 Award of Excellence, which is the highest NSPRA recognition possible for its production of Briar Hill Middle School's Beyond Video. The 6-minute video featured the school's learning initiative to literally go beyond the classroom for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, hosting a downlink with NASA astronaut Joe Acaba, who was living, working, and conducting research aboard the International Space Station. Not only did the downlink video receive thousands of views, but NASA specifically requested to share the district's footage on their own platforms. The 2 Merit Awards were received for the district's production of a Career Center East engineering video and a Lewisville ISD Teacher of the Year video. These videos were just a few examples of how the district's communication department works closely with its campuses like Briar Hill and CCE to showcase the amazing stories of Lewisville ISD. Congratulations.
So normally we're on the other end and taking pictures, but tonight we're up on the stage, and we ask Chris and Trila to be here as well for this award, because the Briar Hill video would not have been possible without the tremendous work that Briar Hill did to put on that entire event. So I think that's the best part for us of getting to highlight the campuses, is we get to work hand in hand with all of them to highlight the great work that they do. So this is the communication team. We have the principal and instructional library. What's your exact title? Library media specialist from Briar Hill. So this is our team, and thank you very much.
The Government Finance Officers Association of the United States and Canada awarded LISD the Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting. an award that recognizes districts that have met the program's high standards for financial reporting and accountability. This Certificate of Excellence is also the highest achievement in the area of governmental accounting and financial reporting, which is a significant accomplishment by the district and its accounting and budget department. The district received the award for its 2017 Comprehensive Annual Financial Report, which is a document to inform parents and community stakeholders about the financial and economic state of the district. Congratulations to LISD's Accounting and Budget Department. Your hard work and commitment to maintaining financial transparency is greatly appreciated.
Okay, well, this is my team, the senior accountants for Lewisville ISD. And this is new for us, too, because, as everybody knows, we're always behind the scene working away with our calculators, and our office is always quiet, and all you hear is calculators going 90 miles an hour. So we're all a little nervous, but I just want to thank my staff, starting from the first row to the left is Samantha Livingston, Karen Courtney, Nettie Edwards, and then Danielle Bell Wexman, Sarah Curtis, Patty Espinosa, and Cindy Taylor. And we just want to thank you all for your services, and we appreciate you very much.
Okay, I get to introduce the next recognition because it just happened last week. We're going low-tech this week and have actual kids here to talk about what happened last week. So Mr. Plunkett, as kind of the architect of this district-wide movement, along with some of your friends at LHS, if you can come and introduce Kindness Convocation and Kindness Week, Be Kind Week.
Test. Good? Okay. Spread out real quick. All right. Good evening, President Cox, Dr. Rogers, School Board. Before we start, I want to make sure Allison and Josh get credit. They came to me almost 2 years ago with this idea and wanted to do a district-wide student convocation. And logistic-wise and everything else, we weren't sure how it was going to work, but for those of you that were there, it came together beautifully, and we couldn't be more excited of how the event went, how much the students bought in, and then everything that we have planned for the year. So I'm going to let the students introduce themselves as they speak. They're going to talk briefly about convocation, since most of you were there, and then they're going to talk about Kindness Week, which begins next Monday, and then our plans for the year. So I'm going to turn it over to the students.
Hey everyone, my name is Alsa Khan, and I'm going to be a sophomore at Marcus. Kindness is choosing love over hate, trust over insecurity, and compassion over judgment. It takes strength to be kind, but the one who achieves it will only become stronger. I have always been taught to be kind, but the convocation actually introduced techniques and tools to me that can be used to discover, inculcate, and spread kindness. People can do great things if they transcend themselves and connect with the broader world and environment around them. At the convocation, the keynote speaker, Houston Kraft, led small activities and exercises with a focus on learning how kindness connects each one of us and how opening up will introduce us to get kindness in return. Throughout the entire program of Character Strong, I thought of ways that I can become kinder and always choose love no matter how uncomfortable I am. I could clearly see that I wasn't the only one going through this process. The auditorium was silent, but the silence spoke more than words ever could. It conveyed that the students were aspiring to know more about Character Strong and were prepared to get further guidance from the program. Students came together to work towards one goal, with only the intention to make a change someday in somebody's life through kindness. The convocation gave us the help we needed to start away from the ripple it has left behind. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Bethany Moore, and I'm going to be a junior at the Colony High School. Monday, Kindness Kickoff Day, the Kindness Ambassadors will get to school early in our orange shirts and greet each student at the door with high fives, handshakes, and a piece of candy. We will decorate the halls with banners and signs. During the announcements at each school, the Kindness Ambassadors will read a quote of the day, and they will also give the students a daily kindness challenge every day during the week.
Hello, my name is Braden Kosh, and I'm going to be a senior at Lewisville High School. And Tuesday is going to be Brighten Someone's Day with Neon Day, and the halls will be decorated in neon orange. Each campus will be challenged with creating an image of kindness out of orange sticky notes, kind of like these. They will tweet a pic of their image with a kindness caption, and the school with the most likes will win the challenge. During the announcements at each school, the kindness ambassadors will read a kindness challenge that asks these students to text one of their parents, grandparents, or guardian with a thank you for always blank, fill in the blank text.
Hi, my name is Amy Nam, and I'll be a senior at Hebron High School. So Wednesday is Pay It Forward Day or Buddy Day. Kindness ambassadors will be walking the halls doing random acts of kindness. They will each have Pay It Forward cards with compliments on them. They will watch for others doing kind deeds and present them with a Pay It Forward card. When students receive a card, they will take a picture of it and tweet it out. At lunch that day, the students will play Kindness Bingo, where students will find other students with common interests.
Hi, my name is Kyle. I'll be a senior at Flower Mound High School. And Thursday is going to be Hide the Negativity Day. So kindness ambassadors will each write compliments and phrases on wooden clothespins. And then during the day, they will hang them on the clothespins on other students' lanyards to represent someone being kind to others. During the announcements at each school, the kindness ambassadors will read a kindness challenge that asks the students to write an email to one of their former teachers who made an impact on their life. They can also tag them on Twitter.
First of all, thank y'all for having a podium I can be seen behind my height. So. All right. My name's Dominique, informally known as Energy. I attend Marcus High School. I'll be talking about Friday, Join Team Kindness. The kindness ambassadors will get to school early in our orange shirts and greet each student at the door with high fives, handshakes, and a piece of candy. We'll be in the halls with banners, signs, and so forth. Throughout the day, the students will receive several kindness challenges on social media and the announcements. The Friday Kindness challenge is for everyone to text an old friend who you have grown apart from. Text them, I wanted to let you know that I miss our friendship because ... we want to keep it personal, and I hope that we hang out soon. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Nidhi Abraham. I'm a junior at the Colony High School, and if you begin practicing kindness on a daily basis at your schools, you can make valuable changes over the course of the year that will improve your life and the lives of others.
Hi, my name's Annabelle Peck. I'm a senior at the Colony High School, and I just want to share this quote. Research has shown doing acts of kindness on a regular basis can lead to positive mental health and happiness.
Hi there, my name is Matthew Jimenez.
And I'm Jordan Jackman, and we're seniors at OHS.
And we'd love to answer any questions you may have.
Well, I think we'll all want to make a comment to you, but I'm so proud of each and every one of you. And I think most of us went to the Be Kind night, and I'm so proud of you taking the initiative and really getting out there. And it was so awesome to see the high schools all together as one body, sharing a same act of kindness. So I'm very excited for you. And would anyone else like to make any comments?
Ditto. It was a great night. I was so moved by how many kids were there because it was a choice to be there before school started, before you had to do anything else. And I've often said that the best ideas come from y'all. And I'm really glad that this idea has gotten legs and some great orange shirts.
I greatly appreciate the kindness convocation. I had a wonderful time. And I just want to make sure that y'all know that sometimes you hear in the media, teenagers and young kids, XYZ, fill in the blank. And I want you to know that I have great faith in our nation going forward because of y'all. And y'all are so going to make me choke up. Y'all are smart, energetic, and this applies to all of the students in the classes and all of the schools. I have faith in our society because of y'all. So thank you for what you do.
Thank you. It was a wonderful evening, and I have to say, even from comments that I've heard from students, you're already making a difference in your initiative, and you're making a difference in the community with people asking great questions, and you're really creating such a positive image for our culture. And I just want to say thank you for, again, taking another night out of your last few days of summer vacation to be here with us. So thank you.
I just wanted to say I was glad. I was kind of afraid when y'all stepped forward that we were going to have a dance-off up here from the board members, so I'm glad that didn't happen, and anybody that wasn't there. It was a wonderful event, and I just want to echo Ms. Hassett's comments that you all are the next generation, and you are probably the greatest yet. And I know that you probably don't hear that all the time, but seeing the work that you do and the impact that you have and the ripple effect that this one thing, you all were all over the place, all over the news. It brought me to tears every time I saw another newscast on it, because I don't know that you will ever know the entire impact that just this one event is going to have. It will go beyond your lifetime. And I just wanted to say thank you from the LISD family. Y'all are amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, well, not much to add to that. Hey, Dominic, I want to give you a shout out there.
He's back in the back.
He's back in the back. Miss Cox, what's that? Yeah, you should have. Yeah, exactly. Bigger things yet to come, I'm sure. Yeah, that was a great event, and awkward at the same time. I'm really glad you guys didn't ask us, the 8 of us, to have to stand up and look at each other for 30 seconds and not say anything or something like that, because we spend a lot of time with each other. But it was a great event, and, as Ms. Cox said at the staff convocation, which is set up here before, the closer you get to public education, the better it looks. And some will say we have an image problem. It's not an image problem because people aren't looking at, if they're not looking at the right place. So where there's an image problem is because they're not looking at the right place. And this is the right place. And so, Mr. Koch and Ms. Stamey, I mean, what else can we say? Mr. Plunkett, thanks for creating an incubator, a place for this to happen, for kids to thrive. And if we can create in classrooms and environments and boardrooms like this where we inspire you guys to go out and make a difference, then we have done our job. And we have a lot of other stuff we have to deal with budgets and everything. This is the greatest gift that you can give us. And a wise counselor once said to me in dealing with conflict, biggest thing you could do to be kind. And so it's just really kind of, I love playing off that. And thank you guys for what you're going to do. We're excited to hear what happens that second week of school. That some kid that moved here that didn't know somebody, right? Like this played out the other night, that didn't know somebody. Somebody reaches out in the cafeteria and says, hey, would you come over here and look at Interact or look at, Stuco or look at, FCA or whatever it is. And you'll model what we say which is every one of you has a name, right? And every kid walking into your campus that moves here from California probably or, someplace else needs a friend. And so thank you guys for doing that.
So I guess I'm the one board member that didn't get to come, and I was really sad that I wasn't able to make it, but you guys just make my heart so happy. I'm so thrilled to see this. I just don't even know where to start. Since maybe this question was answered before, so I understand y'all are all at the high schools. Is this going to be at middle or elementary as well? Mr. Plunkett? Okay. Good. That would be great. But at least y'all are setting a great example, so thank you guys so much. Appreciate it.
Ms. Laston, if I may, I will tell you that we've already got some programs that are not, they don't have orange shirts or fancy uniforms or anything, but we do have some programs at the K through 8 level that do tie directly into the concepts and the teachings that came from the convocation. So you'll see the effects of this K-12. I think these kids have started a movement here.
Thank you, everyone. Congratulations. Persons desiring to address the Board of Trustees must fill out a speaker's card prior to the meeting. No presentation shall exceed 3 minutes. The board cannot deliberate on any subject that is not included on the agenda. We actually have 2 speakers tonight. So, Chrissy Clark.
I'm not Chrissy.
So Chad?
Chad.
Okay. You say your full name. Is it Sexton?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Is this thing working? Okay. The mood of this meeting has been so positive. I hope I don't bring it down very much. My name is Chad Sexton. I live in Flower Mound. My oldest daughter is entering the 6th grade this Wednesday at McCamey Middle School. Your rules say that a student is deemed eligible for transportation if they reside 2 or more miles from their home campus, measured along the shortest route that may be traveled on public roads. My house is 2.0 miles from McCamey Middle School, but my address is listed on your system as not being eligible for transportation to McCamey. Therefore, from my perspective, you are not enforcing your own rules. My measurement is based on Google Maps, MapQuest, and the odometer in my car. In addition, my measurement is based on the shortest route that may be traveled on public roads. I'm here tonight to bring this matter to your attention and ask you to enforce your own rules. It is important to note, if I were the only resident in my neighborhood with a McCamey student, I would not be here. Not everyone in our neighborhood with a McCamey student and with a residence 2 miles or more from the middle school was able to attend this meeting tonight. However, we created and signed a petition, and you, Ms. Cox, should have already received it via email. This change should be an easy one for you to make. You provide a bus to the neighborhood next to ours, and this bus route currently only has 3 stops. Surely you can add 1 more stop to this route, which is all that's needed to fix this problem. You have said publicly you will work to ensure students are served in a fair and equitable manner. And based on my experience with the LISD, I believe you exceed this commitment. I myself was a K-12 LISD student between 1987 and 2000. As a student, I found the LISD to be fair and equitable. Between 2011 and 2017, I co-led a volunteer mentoring organization in the LISD, which was successful. You went above and beyond fair and equitable so my team could mentor at-risk youth in our very own district. Today, you execute on your defined mission as you most definitely provide my own children with an engaging and innovative educational experience. Going all the way back to 1987, I can say I've never been to one of these meetings, and I honestly never want to come back, especially not as a parent who is voicing a complaint. This situation is not part of the LISD's DNA, which I have known and admired for many, many years. Please, on behalf of my entire neighborhood, enforce your own rules And as I stated before, there is an easy solution to this problem. Thank you.
Thank you, Chad. Is Chrissy Clark here? Oh.
I'm going to make this short. I'm a little bit sick, but I wanted to come support Chad. So it's Chrissy Clark, and I also live in the Wichita Chase neighborhood, 4612 St. Charles Court. I also have a sixth grader going into McCamey Middle School, and then one right behind it in fifth grade at Liberty. We do get bus service to Liberty Elementary. We get bus service to Flower Mound High School, but we have a gap here with McCamey being right at the 2-mile mark. And there's some disparity if you go on the website on the bus company site, and it's very hard to weed through there and look through the addresses, but one street behind me says they get bus service, but they should go to the neighborhood behind and take the trail through the woods and the park and cross the road with no crosswalk or sidewalks. And then off to the other side, which you would think is I would be further from the school, they say they're eligible too. So there's some disparities in the measurement of the distance to the school, and frankly, a 2-mile walk to school twice a day for an 11-year-old, and my 11-year-old's on the small side. His backpack's almost bigger than him, carrying instruments. It ain't happening. So I'm just here to show support, and I know there's several other families that couldn't be here tonight that we all live within that 2-mile distance, and we just ask that you look into this and take our concerns to heart and try to help our kids get to school with the bus. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chrissy. Anyone else? Okay, information items. Annual review of investment policy. Mr. Ball.
Thank you, Ms. Cox. Board members, this is an annual requirement of the Public Funds Investment Act that we review the investment policy. We have reviewed it internally and are not recommending any changes to the policy that is reviewed annually, and it's certainly our recommendation that the board just note that the policy has been reviewed with no changes recommended.
Thank you, Mr. Ball. Are there any questions? This is information item. No? All right. Data center storage refresh. Mr. Colbeck.
Thank you, Mrs. Cox. This is related to a 2017 technology bond project. Our current network storage that is here in Bolin is starting to age. In fact, it's in that 6-year-old range. And what we're working on is our plan is to work with purchasing to replace that current storage infrastructure and essentially bring this item back at a future board meeting as a discussion item and again as an action item. So this is very brief information item to get this on your radar as a need. As I said before, it's already been included in the 2017 bond technology budget.
Thank you, Mr. Colbeck. Does anyone have any questions? So we'll be coming back. Okay. Board meeting dates 2018-2019. Dr. Rogers.
Thank you, Ms. Cox. Board, in front of you, we have provided some date changes for regular board meetings. You know, normally we meet on the second Monday of the month, as our policy BE local states, but there's some second Mondays that don't work. For instance, in October, the second Monday is Columbus Day, so we've moved the date to October 15th. Second Monday in March is during spring break, so we moved it a week later. And then the second Monday in April is the National School Board Conference, so we've moved it to Tax Day, April 15th. So anyway, but we like to bring those forward, and then certainly we will post those as soon as possible for the public.
Thank you, Dr. Rogers. Okay, monthly for discussion items, monthly financial report, including the bond report and the monthly investment reports. Mr. Ball.
Thank you, Ms. Cox. These are the financial statements for the 10 months ended June 30th, 2018. We do believe that these statements indicate that we're on target to reach the results that we've talked about in our work session, and workshop related to our budget situation. We also have, because we did not meet in July, we have two monthly investment reports to report to the board, and those are attached and represent the district's investment position both at June 30th and May 31st. And so be happy to answer any questions the board may have about these.
Thank you, Mr. Ball. Does anyone have any questions? Okay. The District Improvement Plan, Dr. Rapp.
Yes, Madam President, members of the board, I'm pleased to share with you, as was shared in the discussion item, that the District Improvement Plan is in its draft form before you, and we've worked really hard to reformat the DIP around the I statements and the cornerstones, and to use the comprehensive needs assessment as a way to tell our story and to talk about the things that are important, such as the new feature of the program evaluation and review cycle, embedding that in the comprehensive needs assessment. We've worked to reduce the redundancy in the district improvement plan so it can serve as a model for the campuses about the most important strategies that we're working on as a district. I'd like to say thank you to schools and student activities, to Dr. Coburn, to the assistant chiefs. We've worked closely with them as we've developed the district improvement plan, and also providing the learning for the campus principals during Principal U beginning last spring about how to use their CIP to model it after the DIP in alignment with the district goals and the four cornerstones in the I statement. So pleased to share it before you. It's a labor of love, and I'm happy to take any questions about this labor of love at this time.
Thank you, Dr. Rapp. Does anyone have any questions? Ms. Hassett?
I don't have a question. I have a comment. I just really appreciate the new format that you've put so much time into. First of all, I like the chart that I get to, of course, I like my chart that I get to see progress on, so that's always lovely for us to be able to see and track the progress. But I also really enjoy the fact that STAR wasn't mentioned until page 46 of 48. And I just want to make sure that everybody knows it is a piece of data. We have to use that data as a source of data. But I really hope the campuses and parents understand that this is, like you just said, this is the standard that campuses should use for a performance plan to help campuses improve, to help our district improve. And we are not abiding by holding the STAR up to something that we're going to trying to achieve. We want to go above and beyond STAR. And so I really like all the things that you have in here. The way that you incorporated a lot of Dr. Rogers' goals was a big one for me. The way that you've also targeted how you want teachers to improve in the walkthroughs. So it's things that we want teachers to do and things that we need students to show in a variety of different metrics. So I greatly appreciate that and a forward-thinking looking at student performance.
Anyone else? And Dr. Rapp, do you know when this will be available on the website and available?
So it will come before you next month for action, and then after that we'll be able to post it on the website.
Great, thank you. Okay, action items. Consider approval of charter and membership for Community Budget Advisory Committee. Dr. Rogers.
Yes, and we've discussed the Community Budget Advisory Committee. We've provided the charter, and certainly we're excited about the upcoming work. The dedication that 37 folks in our community have committed to really probably close to 2 years of work to really sort of look through our budget and have a lot of fresh sets of eyes, possibly give us some suggestions, and certainly use them. We'll use them as a sounding board. So we're excited about this. It's a little new and unique to do it this way, but certainly I think their input will be valuable.
Thank you, Dr. Rogers. Does anyone have any questions? Or would someone like to make a motion?
I move to approve the proposed Community Budget Advisory Committee charter and suggested membership as presented by administration.
That's a motion by Ms. Prosnick. Do we have a second? Second by Ms. Sells. All in favor? That's 7-0. Motion carries. Consider approval of charter and membership for School Safety Task Force. Dr. Coburn.
Thank you, Mrs. Cox. Members of the board, excited to bring this to you this evening. We have plans in the works upon your approval to engage our community in conversations about what we can do to make sure that we are both hearing their input and continuing to be a leader in keeping our schools and our all of our buildings as safe and secure as we can. Our students, our staff, parents, families that enter our schools. We know our schools are centers of the community. You have a charter included in this item. And if I can just read from the charter quickly, ultimately this task force is about engaging our community in the conversations about securing the student, staff, and communities of Lewisville ISD. At the end of the day, that really is what this is all about. The plan is to have 4 meetings with an outside facilitator. Folks have agreed to give up their time, basically their month of September and early October, to meet in 4 different evenings to discuss every topic under the sun that we can come up with. 794 respondents to the call for volunteers to serve on this task force. From their open-ended responses have come the list of topics to be discussed, as well as talking with our industry leaders and local law enforcement, our friends at the FBI that Mr. Garrett and I saw back last spring. You've got a membership group there, 64 total members coming from those 794 applicants. You'll see there's 3 categories there. Are you a parent in the district? Are you an employee of the district? Or do you have relevant experience? And everybody checks off at least one of those boxes across those 3 categories. And we had a lot of triple dippers there. They hit all 3. But we really wanted to get a wide variety of people to bring to you. We do not have all of our students assigned yet because they're not back in school, but we will have 1 student from each of our 9 through 12 campuses. Also, we will have high-ranking police from every one of our municipalities. Some of them are having a hard time figuring out exactly who the person's going to be that can commit to all 4 meetings. They all think that's really important. So I don't have those names all for you yet. We're getting close. I think we're missing 2 as of close of business today.
Thank you, Dr. Coburn. Does anyone have any questions? Ms. Sells?
Can you just remind me again, have all the people that are not employees or students, have they passed background checks?
We'll have to check on that. The first meeting is September 6th, and we will make sure. They are not volunteers. They are volunteering their time. The meetings will be here in this building, but we'll secure all of that once we have finalized all of their membership. We do have affirmative responses from all of these people. Again, we're waiting on approval from you.
Just for me, if these people are going to have impact onto the security of our students, I would like to know that they had passed a background check.
Thank you. Would you like to add that in the motion? You want to? Yes.
Make the motion then. I move to approve the proposed school safety task force charter and suggested membership as presented by administration, with the addition that the members that are not employees or students have passed a LISD background check.
The motion by Ms. Sells. Do we have a second? Second by Ms. Hassett. All in favor? Comments? Mr. Miller?
You mentioned 64 people. I think this is 44 in this document.
Students.
So it's the students and the other.
Yes, sir. Students and law enforcement.
Yeah. So just one brief question. So I think there's some great people in here. I guess I'm wondering why we would have someone who's a parent with not an employee, not have any professional background, because there are so many people that are parents and professional background or staff members with some valid experience. So what was thinking with some of that?
Sure. As we looked at every single member, we wanted to get geographical representation. We wanted to get campus representation. And then the other one that really carried a lot of weight was, how did they respond to the questions? What did they say? Because we asked an open-ended question that basically was, what are the areas of interest that are of most concern to you? And we got some really long paragraphs, some really short answers, and some really long ones. And so it was really from reading those, finding themes, trying to make sure that anytime you have a group that's engaging in these kinds of discussions, it's a very representative body based on ideologies, areas of interest, areas of concern.
And the last thing is that this won't replace the current quarterly meetings, whatever, with our local law enforcement partners that we're already brainstorming with, doing tabletop exercises, etc. This is supplemental to that process.
Yes, sir, that is 100% correct. This is a task force charged with bringing recommendations to administration, and that is the extent of that work. This is not the legislative requirement that came with our quarterly group that we've got from all of our municipalities.
Any other questions? Okay, we have a motion by Ms. Sells, a second by Ms. Oh, I'm sorry, Ms. Lasson.
Just a quick question. Overall, I don't have a problem with the background check thing, but I did want to ask Mr. Crownover, is that okay for us to require that of the members?
So we're wandering into probably a closed session topic.
Okay.
Hesitant to give advice on that here in open session. I mean, if that's something you want to do, we can go talk about it, but hesitant to talk too much in open session.
Okay. Okay.
Is that a question that you need to be answered before you can make a vote?
Maybe, yes. Yes, it is, actually, yes.
Mr. Crownover, I think we need to go into closed session.
Okay.
We'll take a 5-minute recess for closed session. The time is 8 p.m. We will now reconvene into open session. So back to our item 8:13. The time is now 8:13. We have a motion on the floor by Ms. Sells and a second by Ms. Hassett.
Madam President, I would like to withdraw my motion at this time.
Okay, that's a withdrawal from Ms. Sells. Ms. Hassett, do you second? It's a second, so motion is withdrawn. Do we have someone that would like to make another motion?
Yes, I would like to make the following motion. I move to approve the proposed school safety task force charter and suggested members presented by administration who have successfully passed a background check to the district's satisfaction no later than the date of the first meeting of the committee, excluding student members.
All right, that's a motion by Ms. Sells. Do we have a second by Ms. Hassett? Any discussion? All right, all in favor? That's 7-0, motion carries. Thank you. Consider approval of Chapter 41 Wealth Equalization Plan. Mr. Ball.
Thank you, Ms. Cox. This item is a requirement of Chapter 41 of the Texas Education Code, and it is option 3 of the for the 5 methods that are prescribed in Chapter 41 for equalizing wealth. The district did have an election back in October of 2005 to approve this method. We are budgeting, as the board is aware, about $34.4 million in recapture payments to be due next year. So this agreement will take on a whole new level of significance from what it has in the past. And I'd certainly be happy to answer any questions the board may have.
Thank you, Mr. Ball. Does anyone have any questions? Ms. Hassett?
Sorry, I didn't ask earlier. Just looking at your second bullet, is it really options 3 and 4? I thought option 4 was a separate option that really no one has used, so much so that they don't have the extra bonus of choosing option 4 anymore. Years ago, that was removed.
That's correct, but in 2005, that was a viable option, and so the election that was held in 2005 had both option 3 and option 4 on the ballot, and the district voters approved either or both of those options at that time.
Any other questions? Would someone like to make a motion?
I move to approve the option 3 agreement for the purchase of attendance credits as the district's wealth equalization plans for the 2018-2019 school year as recommended by administration.
Thank you, Ms. Prosnick. That's a motion by Ms. Prosnick. Do we have a second? Second by Mr. Miller. All in favor? That's 7-0. Motion carries. Next item to consider approval of the RFQ 2538 Real Estate Broker Services. Dr. Rogers.
Ms. Cox, at this time, administration recommends that we table this until August 27th. I know some of the board had some technical issues to have access to the documents, so we would request that that be tabled for 2 weeks.
Is the board okay with that, to table that for 2 weeks? Okay. Moving on. Consider approval of RFP 2552, commercial property insurance. Mr. Ball.
Thank you, Ms. Cox. This item, we've been working on this feverishly since late May. As the board is aware, our existing insurance company, due to what they believe to be significant storm damage losses across the DFW Metroplex, sent the district a notice of non-renewal on May the 28th of this year. And so the district has been on a trip to circularize a request for proposals, entertain the responses to those proposals, and get pricing for the coverage that expires at the end of the fiscal year here in just a few days. And so we finally got that pricing last Friday, that because of the hailstorm that occurred in June of this year, the proposers felt like they needed to take another look at it. And so two things that have changed in terms of what the market looks like is now what we found is that no one insurance company, no single insurance company is willing to assume the risk of the entire coverage package that the district needs. And so what we're seeing now is a layered policy in which multiple, I believe there are 19 insurance companies participating in the layered coverage that the district has been presented with and that the administration is recommending. And each of those companies has chosen the share of the liability that they will assume and the premium that's associated with that. And then our commercial insurance agent, USI, will serve as sort of the coordinator of that program. And each of those companies have agreed to work with USI, and they've also agreed to work with one insurance adjuster firm so that it won't be chaos if we do have a claim. And so that's the first change. And then the second change is just the significant increase in cost. And so our commercial property insurance has gone from about $1.2 million to about $2.8 million. And then, pardon me, what's on this recommendation tonight is also the boiler and machinery coverage and some terrorism and sabotage coverage that would cover the district in those eventualities. So certainly we'd be happy to answer any questions the board may have. We are recommending the board approve this, and we do plan to, we view this as a sort of a one-year bridge to a new request for proposals process that we would embark on somewhere around the first of the year so that we can have adequate time to negotiate and work with, hopefully be better positioned to work with the marketplace of insurance carriers. And so happy to answer any questions the board might have, and it is our recommendation to approve this.
Mr. Ball, I just want to make it clear, and I'll let you answer the question. This is not just an LISD issue.
That's a great point, Dr. Rogers, and thank you for that reminder. Some of our neighbors to the east particularly have had, our loss was about $15.5 million. Some of the districts to the east of us had losses in the range of $50 million through the hailstorm. And so, one neighbor to the east of us is on a June 30 year end, and so they've kind of walked down this path ahead of us, and their experience was very similar to what we're experiencing. And so we're not in this, it's not unique to Lewisville ISD.
Thank you, Mr. Ball. That's a tough pill to swallow, and an unfortunate one. But does anyone have any questions? Okay, would someone like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion, and then I'd like to discuss it. Okay. I move to award the. I move to award the recommended commercial property insurance policies and anticipated expenditures for 1 year to USI Insurance Services as presented by administration.
Motion by Mr. Miller. Ms. Timish, do you want a second? Second by Ms. Timish. Mr. Miller, you want to speak to your motion?
Yeah, I just wanted to comment more towards so the general public has an understanding of the type of interruption this has for us. Many of us that live in the northern part of LISD experienced this in our homes and had to go out and get roofers and that type of thing and deal with the resources that were available or not available, etc. This is a major disruption for us. Our facilities team, Rosemary and the finance team, I'm sure, trying to figure out what we're going to do, amend our budget. If you weren't in our work sessions, we've discussed this a lot. It's a regrettable situation to be in. It's unfortunately part of where we live, and I just wanted to give kudos to the staff. This is not just Mr. Martin and finance and facilities. It's actually all of the above that are all involved in trying to make this work for us. And while we all hate to be in a situation that we're in, having to spend quite a bit more money, hopefully, something will change in the next year and we'll be able to get this back down. But that amount of money we're talking about comes out of classrooms, doesn't come out of the bond package, and so it's important that we try and figure out a way to get that back. And thanks to all of you for working hard to try and figure out a way to do that for us.
Thank you, Mr. Miller. That's a motion by Mr. Miller and a second by Ms. Timish. All in favor? That's 7-0, motion carries. Consider approval of CSP 2551 18 Audio Visual Refresh Project. Mr. Colbeck.
Thank you, Mrs. Cox. This is a follow-up from last week's board work session. As I shared last week, we brought a recommendation back in January to utilize job order contract method for the audiovisual projects. We also updated the board back in June that after reviewing the results of the JOC, what we were looking to do is really try to get better pricing. So we issued a new job order contract to complete the work within the bond program. So this item is the job order contract that we've been waiting to get the results on. As such, the results of this would be recommending both the primary and secondary vendors, and also to recommend multiple awards based upon the line items in the JOC. This also would provide the awarded vendors, it would give us the ability to use the awarded vendors during the term of this project for the 2017 bond project. Again, this is something that was budgeted in the 2017 bond, but we also have some unencumbered 2008 bond funds that we would like to apply to this project as well. So with the approval of this, we would be essentially spending out, and closing out our 2008 technology bond funds and also 2017 technology bond funds. The budget for this project is $1.5 million, and if you recall, the 5-year project for this item in the 2017 bond is $5,333,274. So the JOC that we're recommending tonight it's a 1-year term with the ability to renew that for up to 4 additional years. So this would allow us to use this job order contract through the term for the audiovisual projects of the bond. So with that, our recommendation is to approve the contract and anticipated expenditures over the remaining 2017 bond period. So with that, any questions?
Thank you, Mr. Colbeck. Are there any questions? Ms. Hassett?
I don't have a question, but after the previous two things we just voted on that cost a lot of money, I just would like to appreciate staff for taking the extra time to actually have the multiple vendors and go through the more rigorous process of contacting extra people throughout this bond project. So I appreciate saving money in doing that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hassett. Would someone like to make a motion? Ms. Atlasan?
I move to approve the contract and anticipated expenditures over the remaining 2017 bond period, utilizing the recommended vendors as presented by administration.
It's a motion by Ms. Lazan. Is there a second? Second by Ms. Hassett. All in favor?
I'm sorry, one moment,
Mr. Miller?
I just wanted to ask one question, if I could.
Sure.
Mr. Colbeck, there's primary and secondary, and then there's a section in cyan that says multiple award. What? The multiple awards don't necessarily line up with primary and secondary, so if you just help me understand that.
I believe, Mr. Miller, part of that is for individual services, and others are for products, where you have the stuff, and then other pieces are for services.
Mr. Prosnick?
I have a quick question based on the motion. You said that we were also going to be using 2008 bond monies, and that is not in the motion. That's my question. Does it have to be in the
I'm
motion?
not sure that it needs to be in the motion.
It was using 2008 bonds. So.
Yep. Mr. Ball, what are your thoughts on
Well, I think certainly the board needs to approve bond expenditures, and it probably should, if we're going to cross over like that, at least we probably ought to say that in the motion. I think we have I think the board has the ability to do that and to amend that motion. I don't think it, I think all we need to do is add that to the motion, that the funding could come from 2017 or 2008 bond funds.
I'd like to amend the motion. Do we read the whole thing again? Okay. I move to approve the contract and anticipated expenditures over the remaining 2008 or 2017 bond period, utilizing the recommended vendors as presented by administration.
It's an amendment by Ms. Lazan and a second by Ms. Hassett. Any question or discussion on the amendment? All in favor? That's 7-0. Now back to our original motion by Ms. Lazan and a second by Ms. Hassett. Are there any discussion? All in favor? That's 0. Motion dies. Thank you. Consider approval of Managed Security Service Provider MSSP DIR TSO 3763. Mr. Colbeck.
Thank you. Again, this is a topic that was discussed during the board work session. Essentially, we've been doing a lot of work in the area of security upgrades, specifically our Cisco security upgrade. And as part of that presentation, we also shared that we had additional security needs outside of bond-specific projects. As such, we've been working with the purchasing department to provide options for managed security service provider services. And in that process, we did an RFP. Through the RFP process, we recognized that the best value to the district was to actually utilize the Texas DIR cooperative for these particular services. It actually ended up having a significant savings to the district with that cooperative contract. So that said, what we're recommending is the expenditure of $88,466 that would come out of the annual technology operations budget, and that would be specifically with Dell Marketing, and the services would be, just to point out, it's not on here, but those services would be using a solution through Dell called SecureWorks, and also just to share with you as well, that has been one of the recognized leaders for several years by Gartner Research in the space of managed security services. So we believe it would be a very good solution for the district at a very affordable rate.
Thank you, Mr. Colbeck. Is there any questions? Someone like to make a motion? Timish?
I move to approve the contract and anticipated expenditures with Dell Marketing LP DIR TSO 3763 as the managed security services provider as recommended by administration.
It's a motion by Ms. Timish. Is there a second? Second by Ms. Sells. Any discussion? All in favor? That's 7-0. Motion carries. Consider approval of RFP 255618 Apple Products Residual Value. Mr. Colbeck.
Thank you, Mrs. Cox. This is, again, something we talked about last week at the board work session. I provided a little bit of history as part of our device evaluation and a recommendation for a device refresh plan. One of the items that we had to address was the residual value of our current Apple inventory. Again, we've been working with purchasing to secure pricing for both the residual value of the devices as well as collection services. So what we're bringing forward in the recommendation is for both the collection and the value of the device itself. In the process, our recommendation is to bring a sole single vendor forward. We feel like that provides the best value for the district. Also, we discussed last week the process of crediting, as the value comes back in, that it would credit the 2017 technology bond accounts that were used to purchase the current technology. Additionally, it's important to point out that the vendor we're recommending, Diamond Assets, has offered guaranteed pricing regardless of if we're missing accessories, if we're missing chargers, things that we know would be a concern. And I also want to, I guess, point out kudos to our purchasing department as well. They did a great job working on getting that piece included. Also, as I said before, the timing on this is very key. We're getting ready to plan we're planning the deployments, but they're just a couple weeks around the corner. So with this recommendation, we would be working with Diamond. They would be providing the district 6 employees to work hand in hand with our employees during a 3-month window. So we believe that would give us the extra hands we need to do the collection with the deployment process. We also followed up with several references with this particular company, and obviously this is a big project, but the references that we followed up with, it was very apparent they were very pleased with their services. Also, in the response process, Diamond met all the district's requirements. I know it was a concern of the board regarding data sanitation as well as cyber liability insurance. The district would be listed under their policy. The purchasing department also worked on making sure there was some security there for the district as well regarding bonding for the project. And ultimately, assuming we would be collecting 27,600 devices, mostly iPad 4s, but a small smattering of other laptops and desktops, the anticipated revenue would be $2,800,635. And if you recall, when we did our forecast just for year 1, and we knew those were conservative numbers, but it was just on the plus side of 1.3 million. So we were very pleased with the residual value that came in through this process. So with that, our recommendation is to approve Diamond Assets for the residual value project.
Thank you, Mr. Colbeck. Does anyone have any questions? Mr. Mill? No? I actually have a question. So do we currently have these devices in the district's possession? I mean, are they with students, staff?
Yeah, most of them are with students. We have some that we've collected throughout the summer as our staff deployments, but the majority of these are with students, and we'll be collecting them from now until basically Thanksgiving.
So I just want to make sure there's not going to be a disruption in student learning due to the devices being picked up.
We'll be doing the deployment similar to what we've done in other deployments, and campuses at this point already know the schedule, and I feel like I'm very confident it's going to be a very smooth process.
Perfect.
Dr. Rajan?
No, I was just going to say it's basically a swap. We're going to take their old device as we give them a new device, and Diamond is going to be there to help us collect the old devices.
Okay. Would somebody like to make a motion?
Ms. Cox, I move to approve the contract sale of the end-of-life devices and collection services of the Apple products residual value RFP with Diamond Assets, LLC, as recommended by administration.
That's a motion by Mr. Miller. Do we have a second? Second by Ms. Lazan. All in favor? That's 7-0. Motion carries. Consider approval of engineering services for audio-visual refresh project. Mr. Colbeck.
Thank you again, Ms. Cox. This is a topic, again, we talked about last week during the board work session. And essentially, with some of the audiovisual projects, we have electrical work that's included in there. And one of our board policies is that if we have projects that are deemed public works, we need to have either an architect or engineering services included. So this, and I know we talked about this as being a bit confusing over the past year, so hopefully this gets us on track. What this is an action item that would secure the engineering services that would do the design work that we would use then for the renewing job order contract that you just recently approved a couple items ahead. So this would be the engineering services only for the remaining part of the 2017 bond project related to audiovisual services. So again, in January of 2018, the board approved Estes and McClure to do the engineering services for year 1. The district has a long relationship with them, somewhere in the ballpark of 20 years. They know our campus as well, so we're recommending the continuation of them for engineering services.
Thank you, Mr. Colbeck. Is there any questions? Someone like to make a motion?
Ms. Cox, I'll make a motion. I'd like to approve the selection of Estes McClure and Associates, Inc. as the professional electrical engineer for the audiovisual refresh project and their associated expenditures over the 2017 bond period as recommended by administration.
Thank you, Mr. Miller. That's a motion by Mr. Miller. Do we have a second? Second by Ms. Hassett. Any discussion? All in favor? That's 7-0. Motion carries. Mr. Colbeck, it's your night. Consider approval of non-instructional facilities wireless system refresh, DIR TSO 4167. Mr. Colbeck.
All right, thank you. And once again, this is another topic that we discussed at last week's board work session. This is regarding the wireless that's needed in our non-instructional facilities. This is outside of what was included in the E-rate submission for wireless, specific for our campuses. We worked with the purchasing department again on this this process, and our intention is to utilize the state Texas DIR contract for the products and services for this. Also, the company that is doing the installation currently of our campus wireless would be is the company being recommended, NetSync. Also, in the process of securing the pricing on this, NetSync, working with our purchasing department, actually came up with a different licensing model that we believe is going to work better for the district, and ultimately it's going to actually save us more money. In fact, it's going to save us, it's in the action item, $55,240 before E-rate. So this is something I want to point out that wasn't available to us when we brought forward the campus E-rate wireless, but it's something that's available now, and we'll be able to leverage with this action item. But this would give us the upgraded wireless for all of our non-instructional facilities. And again, this is a 2017 bond project, and the monies for it would be in the wireless part of the bond.
Thank you, Mr. Colbeck. Does anyone have any questions? Someone like to make a motion?
Ms. Cox, I move to approve the contract and anticipated expenditures for the non-instructional facilities wireless system refresh with NetSync Network Solutions, DIR TSO 4167, as recommended by administration.
Thank you, Mr. Miller. Do we have a second? Second, Ms. Prosnick. Any discussion? All in favor? That's 7-0. Motion carries. Consider approval of Cisco Cloud Lock DIR TSO 4167. Mr. Colbeck.
All right. Thank you. Again, this was something we discussed last week at the board work session, and similar to the managed security services provider in the area of security-related projects that aren't tied specifically to a bond project, this is another area that when we brought forward the Cisco security solution, there was an item that was purely subscription-based. And this was an item that we said that we needed, but we needed to get the other pieces in place. The other pieces are in place. This is what really provides visibility and security to data that might either be in Google Drive, Gmail, Office 365, of which we do use Google, we do use Microsoft. So this is giving us the tools that we currently do not have to help manage those particular systems and set the right governance and policy around data. Again, we worked with the purchasing department, and our recommendation is to use Texas DIR contract for this. Our recommendation also includes the expenditure over a 5-year period. So as you look at the background item, the amount is $523,688 over 5 years. That would be billed annually during that time, and that gives us the best annual value. So that's why we're bringing that component forward. Again, this would be a DIR contract with vendor NetSync for Cisco Cloud Lock.
Are there any questions? Just to confirm, that's a set rate, and that will not change within that 5-year period.
I believe that's so. It's contracted at that, correct, right? Yes.
Okay, perfect. Would someone like to make a motion? Ms.
I'll make
Timish?
that.
Ms.
Go ahead,
Sells?
Ms. Timish. I move to approve the contract and anticipated expenditures for Cisco Cloud Lock with NetSeats Network Solutions, DIR TSO 4167, as recommended by administration.
Thank you, Ms. Timish. That's a motion by Ms. Timis. Ms. Sells, second. Any discussion? All in favor? That's 7-0, motion carries.
Thank you.
You can rest, Mr. Colbeck. Consider selection of the TASB delegate and alternate for 2018 delegate assembly. So we're looking for someone who would like to serve as a delegate and someone as an alternate to the TASB convention. Would someone like to nominate themselves?
I'd be happy to be the delegate.
Thank you, Ms. Hassett. Thank you, Ms. Prosnick. Any other campaigning? Okay. Would someone like to make a motion for Ms. Hassett as the delegate and Ms. Prosnick as the alternate? Ms. Timish?
I move to approve the selection of TASB delegate for Ms. Hassett and alternate Ms. Prosnick for the 2018 Delegate Assembly.
Thank you, Ms. Timish. We have a motion by Ms. Timish. Do we have a second? Second by Ms. Lasan. All in favor? That's 7-0, motion carries. Thank you very much. Consider approval of School Priority Month resolution. Ms. Sells, would you like to read that resolution for us, please?
School Priority Month Resolution, Lewisville Independent School District. Whereas the system of Texas public education is founded on the principle of necessity for a prosperous society and for individual opportunity, and whereas the success of our local public schools is dependent on the axiom of community engagement and a shared responsibility, and whereas the collective efforts by parents, educators, and the community foster the opportunities for student success, and whereas these accomplishments represent the fabric of local education, therefore, be it resolved that as a biennial event, the Lewisville Independent School District hereby acknowledges the value of engagement by inviting into our local schools a representation of elected officials from all levels of government during the month of October 2018. And be it resolved that this engagement period, known as School Priority Month, provides a pathway for honor, respect, and communication between our elected officials and our local public schools. And be it resolved that beneficial experiences are shaped as our public officials observe and interact with students and educators alike. And be it resolved that these engagements create new partnerships with our public officials and foster long-term, meaningful relationships for the benefit of our future, our children. We hereby adopt this School Priority Month resolution as an acknowledgement of engagement on this 13th day in the month of August during the year of 2018 by the Lewisville Independent School District Board of Trustees.
Thank you, Ms. Sells. Would someone like to make a motion?
I move to approve the School Priority Month resolution.
Thank you, Ms. Hassett. That's a motion by Ms. Hassett. Do we have a second by Ms. Timish? All in favor? Ms. Hassett?
I would just like to say that every month is School Priority Month within the school year. Just want to make sure we're at that.
Point noted. Thank you. All in favor? That's 7-0, motion carries. Okay, we're moving to the consent agenda items. Is there any items that need to be pulled? Hearing none, would somebody like to make a motion?
I'll make that motion. I move the board approve the consent agenda items as recommended by administration.
That's a motion by Ms. Sells. Do we have a second? Second by Ms. Timish. All in favor? That 7-0, motion carries. The next agenda item is to consider a Level 3 grievance appeal. If any time the board is to hear a matter involving a student, the matter must be heard in closed session pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 5510821. We will therefore move into closed session at this time to hear the Level 3 grievance appeal. The time is now 8:47. We are now back on record in open session. Having returned from closed session, the time is now 9:29 p.m. So consider discussion and take possible action on all items related to the Level 3 grievance hearing. Does any board member have a motion regarding the grievance appeal? Pass it.
I move to uphold the Level 2 grievance decision by administration, and I encourage the parents to seek remedies provided by Dr. Rep within the Level 2 hearing.
That's a motion by Ms. Hassett. Do we have a second? Second by Ms. Timish. All in favor? That's 7-0. Motion carries. If there's no further business, this meeting is adjourned, and the time is now 9:30.